Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Helen, you're watching Stitch Rip Repeat, and today I'm going to show you the 4 things that I made in the month of March. I know it's very nearly the end of April, but I'm finally getting around to recording this. So if you are interested to see what I made, please grab yourself a cuppa and I will show you right after this. Right, so before we get started on the makes, I will just let you know that this top I'm wearing is a New Look 6217. I have made numerous ones of these, which if you followed me from the very beginning, you might remember I did a review. That's because I loved this pattern as a new sewer and still love it now because it is just a front and back and that's it. And it's really straightforward. This is one of the few ones where I've actually made it in a woven fabric, which is what it was designed for. I do tend to make it in a knit fabric because I like it as a t-shirt, but I'll pop in the review video that I did way back when I first made these, and you'll be able to see some of the versions I've made. The fabric I think I got from a local fabric shop here called Barbican Fabrics in Plymouth. So the first thing I have to show you is my lander pants. If you followed me for a while, you'll know I was sewing these up on a weekly basis in my Tuesday afternoon sewing class. Therefore, it seemed like a really, really long time to me. I don't know if you've been following me, if it seemed like it to you, but it really wasn't because the amount of actual sewing time wasn't very much. I absolutely love these, and they are made from this gorgeous mustardy colour brushed cotton twill, and if I'm not right about that, I'll put the correct. I think it was a brushed cotton twill from Rainbow Fabrics of Kilburn, and I will hopefully pop in some photos. Now I haven't got any good photos of full length. I've worn them loads, and I've got some photos of sort of the top half of me going down to just a certain length, but I don't have many of the full length. I did take a few when I first finished them in the mirror at my sewing class, so hopefully I'll be popping all the photos in. If I get a chance before editing and uploading, I'll try and get some full length photos for you, but hopefully this gives you an idea. So what can I say? So I made the boot length version of these lander pants, which I think I forgot to say are by True Bias. So they come in 3 versions. You can do a short, an ankle length, or a boot length, which is what I did. And I extended the leg by, I think 1.5 to 2 inches on the guidance from the lovely Angela, who is Devon Threadtails and is my sewing buddy at the Tuesday afternoon classes. She'd made these and she suggested I might want to extend them. It was quite funny because all through making them up, I kept saying to her, "Are you sure?" Because they were dragging and comically on the floor when I was doing try-ons. And she was like, "Oh, don't blame me if I'm wrong." So Angela, you weren't wrong, because in fact, when it came to finishing them, you turn them up by 1/4 inch and press, and then you turn them up by another 3 inches. So she was perfectly right. They are the right length, having extended them. For me, I am 5'5". So I don't know if anyone else has to do that. So I love these. I love the button fly, although the top buttonhole, if you followed me on Instagram, gave me a lot of trouble. So we were not friends, me and the buttonhole foot, for quite some time. I think I redid this 3 times. And so under this button is a mess, but it's fine because it's on and no one's looking at my button. If they are, they're far too close. I also wear a belt, so you don't see the button. I did the label on the back, which I did a little vote in one of my previous videos and asked you what you thought. And I think it looks really good. Everyone wanted the red with the pop of colour, which I think looks like a certain brand of jeans with their label. But this one says, not for sale. So I love the pockets on the back. I always shove my phone in my back pocket, so they are perfect. I did actually have to shorten the pockets. They're quite big. I don't know if anyone else found this. And I have no hips and no bottom to speak of. So when I tried them on, Vanessa, my lovely instructor at Make, pinned them on for me, and she said, they're going right under your bottom. I think maybe you should shorten them. So we did. So I shortened them and now they fit lovely. So the details. This pattern comes in sizes 0 to 18, and that is 26-inch waist and a 34-inch hip for the smallest size, going up to 38.5-inch waist and 46.5-inch hip for the biggest size. So not a huge size range, but sort of fair to middling. I am, according to the measurements, I am exactly a 10 at the waist because it was 31.5 inches, and an 8 at the hips because it's 38 inches. And those were my measurements. So I decided to go for that. So I did a 10 waistband and an 8 everywhere else. So differences I would make making these again. So this fabric has a slight stretch to it. So the fit is actually possibly slightly looser than I would like, but nothing that affects it, I don't think. The waist, I think if I was using a slight stretch fabric like this again, I would actually go down to the 8, because really when I wear these, I had to put more notches onto my belt so that I could tighten them so that they were tight enough. So I think I could get away with the 8 for the whole trouser next time. The other alteration I would make to the waistband is that I think I need to make a sway back adjustment, and I'm really sorry, I should have got a photo, but when I tried them on finished, my waistband sticks out and didn't lay flat tight against me. So I do remember that when I made ginger jeans a few years ago, I had to make the same alteration. So I think basically a sway back would be where I would curve the waistband in and take some of the length off of it, and hopefully that would fit better. My answer for this one is I literally popped in a couple of little darts on the waistband. I'm hoping you can see them. Not very neat on the inside, look, because they were finished. So as you can see, look, I just folded over and tucked some darts in. What I did do was I lined the darts up with the ones that were already in the trouser, so hopefully they look like they're meant to be there. But again, like I said with the button, I always wear a belt, so you can't see that I've done that, and at the end of the day it makes them fit, so I'm really happy with that. So I absolutely love these Lander pants. I'm definitely making more. I want to make some out of a black denim that I've got, which I think would be really nice. What I would change if I'm doing them again, apart from obviously the alterations I said about the waistband and the back pockets and the length, is I think I would taper the leg in. I would do this because I really like the idea of very wide sort of culotte style trousers, and I tend to wear also the complete opposite, skinny trousers. These fall somewhere in between, so they're a nice sort of wide leg, but I'm not 100% convinced that they're my style. I love these trousers and I've already worn them to death, absolutely love them. But I do think going forward that I would taper the leg in a bit and make them just a bit of a straighter leg. So stay tuned, hopefully my next pair will not take anywhere near as long as this pair did. The second thing I have to show you is the Tilly and New Buttons pearl cardigan, which came out, I think, in March. Well, anyway, it came out very recently. Absolutely loved it. It's a ballerina style type cardigan. It's a cropped cardigan, so actually goes really well with my Lander pants because they're a high-waisted trouser. And I made mine out of this really gorgeous, I don't know how well it's going to show, but it is a really lovely, it's like when you get the sweatshirts with the brushed inside, like an alpine fleece, but it's like that on the outside as well, and it's in this sort of marl blue teal colour. Lots and lots of people mentioned that it really suited me. Thank you ever so much. I do love blue, as you know, and I love this colour. It's a really cheery colour and always makes me smile when I wear it. This was just a remnant I had in my stash, and this was a trial version, and hopefully I'll have popped in photos of me wearing the cardigan. I made this in a size 4 and haven't got the pattern with me, so hopefully I'll pop the sizes there so that you can see. I'm usually a 4 in Tilly's. I think if I was going to make it again, I would make it in a 3 because it's a bit baggy around this area. I also extended it by 1 inch because everyone had said it was very cropped. I have to say, even with the inch, it's still very cropped. So I think it would make a lovely top. So like I say, if I went down to the 3 and wore it with the extended 1 inch, I think it would look lovely in like a cotton jersey t-shirting fabric. But if I was doing a cardigan again, I think I will try extending it by at least 2 inches, maybe 2.5, even 3. Because the crop style then only goes with certain things. I think it will go fab with dresses, but if I wanted to wear it with jeans or things that are not high-waisted, then I think definitely extending it is the way to go. So I've been wearing this quite a lot when it's chilly in the evenings. As we're getting spring now, I'm hoping to, as I say, make a t-shirt fabric top with the short sleeve. This one is just the straight sleeve, but the other options are a short and a balloon sleeve. So another wonderful pattern by Tilly. Okay, the third thing I wanted to show you is actually older than both of those. I made this, I'm guessing it was February. Gosh, I've honestly, time has flown so far this year. This was a tester that I did for the lovely Jane, who is the Dressmakers Closet. I have tested all her sewing patterns, so please do go back and look at my videos. I love all her patterns. So anyway, I digress. The Ava blouse by Jane, and hopefully I've popped in photos, I made this one here. This is a really gorgeous viscose linen from Felicity Fabrics. It is so soft and it is absolutely gorgeous to work with. I loved making this. This blouse was so easy to sew up. It is a tie blouse and it can be done in a thin tie like I have done on mine here, or it can be done in a thicker pussy bow style, which I really want to do next. I believe, and I will have to double check, it comes in different length sleeves as well. I think I did the shorter, which I love, this little cuff here, but I believe it comes in a long one as well. And yeah, I made this for Jane. I made the size 10. And again, I don't have it with me, so hopefully I'll put the measurements here so that you can see what that was. Although I made the size 10, because I thought that suited me, I actually sewed nearer to a size 8 because I made a mistake with the seam allowance. I think I'd been sewing something else, which was a 1.5 centre seam allowance. And I don't know, I just didn't bother really reading before I started on this, and I happily sewed the whole thing with a 1.5 seam allowance. In actual fact, it should have been 1, so I'm very lucky that this fits. So maybe next time I'll do the 8 with the actual 1 centimetre allowance. But yes, gorgeous blouse, sewed up lovely. This fabric is very light and airy. It's been gorgeous in this spring-like weather, and I can see me making lots more. So I will put links to all of the patterns that I talk about in my description below. I always do, and if there's fabrics I've talked about which are available, I'll try and pop them in there as well. Last one I've got to show you was my Sew Frugal 22, and hopefully you saw the video that I did, and that talked about what I was hoping to make, and I'll pop a link to it here in case you want to go and check that out. I did say I was hoping to do 2 tops, and the other one I still plan to do, so hopefully that will be in the not too distant future. They were both from the lovely Alyssa's channel, and she is Thoughtful Creativity. Again, I'll put any of the websites and people I talk about links in the description so you can go and have a look for yourself. I talked about in the video how I was hoping to make this one, which came out absolutely gorgeous, and I have this really, I don't know how well you can see, but it's a very lightweight cotton, which is so nice to wear in the hot weather. This is just the easiest to make ever. I made this, it was meant to be for So Frugal 22, as I say, which was through the month of March. Yeah, I made this, I think on the 30th. I might even have done it on the 31st of March. But hey ho, I did it in March. But the fact that I did it in that last day just shows how easy it is. This is a one-piece pattern, and it is self-drafted using the video that Alyssa has given, which shows how to take your measurements. And even better, there is no shoulder seam. So the way you make the pattern means that when you have your fabric, you fold it in half, and instead of laying it on the fabric like you would normally, you fold it in half again, and you lay the sort of corner with the folds on the pattern. And when you open it up, you've got the front and the back on one pattern piece. So you can fold it over, and you've literally got to sew up the seams and up to the ends of the sleeves, because obviously they're grown on sleeves. So yeah, this was really, really good. I'll just get the pattern piece so I can show you approximately what it looks like. Okay, so I'm going to try and show this, but I suspect I'll have to put a photo in. Here is the pattern piece that I used, and basically you may be able to see, as I say, I may have to put in photo. You take the measurements of your bust and waist and hips, and I think maybe your neck. All is explained in the video, so do go check it out. And then she shows you how to draft your pattern piece. You add in your seam allowance that you want to do. So I added in 1/2 inch, and because this is one piece, what I did then, where she showed you how to do the back for the neck and the front, the higher one is the back, and when I'd cut that out, I then placed the pattern piece on the cutout fabric, folded down along the line so that I had the front neckline, which obviously is lower, and I then cut that on the piece. So really, really easy. Cut the whole thing out in a oneer, and then cut out just the front where you want it. I measured elastic for the ends of the sleeves. Oh, I've got a thread. Look, I've worn it and I've still got a thread. And I just put them on and then tried out how much elastic I felt happy with, and popped them in and sew them up. One of the details which I really love, which Alyssa showed you how to do, was the lovely little keyhole. And the keyhole and the neckline are just finished with bias binding there. So a really fun, straightforward sew, simply from that one pattern piece. And now I've made this one, which I love, I am planning to hack the pattern piece. I am thinking of hacking the bottom and making it longer, and then having a shaped hem is something I really fancy doing. And the other thing was, she showed you how to do a slit at the front so that it's more like a sort of V shape and not a keyhole, and I fancy trying that. And I just think having this basic pattern to play around with is just great, just from your measurements. So that was my So Frugal, and this fabric is gorgeous. I've literally just ordered some more. I'm hoping to make the Sagebrush top by Friday Pattern Company. So yeah, I've had some lovely makes in March, which I would really love to hear what you think. And if you've made any of them, or if you have any questions, as always, please do pop it in the comments below. I love to hear from you. I am very behind in answering, and I apologise. It's just life. It's just, I haven't got around to it. So I always read them and give you a little heart when I've read them, but I will get around to answering everyone. So please do carry on commenting. I love it when you comment on the videos. I will hopefully have a video coming up very soon for my Haley shirt. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go and check out Instagram. The lovely Andrea at Experimental Space Patterns has released a new pattern today. I'm recording this on Thursday, the 28th of April, and I was one of the testers. So I'm hoping to record that one very soon as well. So until I do, I will bid you farewell, and I will see you in my next video.